to Kinks and Beats Daily. This is your host, Tony Fry. This is episode 190. And today we are talking about a song from a solo Ray Davies album called Louisiana Sky, which was released on June 29th, 2018 on the album Our Country, Americana, Act 2. This album charted in the UK at number 58, so it was a success. And there's a ton of good stuff on it. I don't think we've covered any other songs from Act 2, but there's a lot of good music on this. And this is one of my favorite tracks on this album. My only thing with it is I wish it lasted a little longer. Kind of has this. So Ray's kind of telling the story about his travels and his time in the United States, both with the Kinks and just as a dude, going through the States on his own. And he's enlisted the help of the Jayhawks to be his backing band. So it's going to have kind of a more country roots feel. And so this song kind of got a relaxed groove. It's a little lazy and quiet. And everything the band is playing is just very cool. And I'm not crazy about the spoken word sections of this song. But for me, the spoken word sections are the weakest part of the entire album. But in a lot of ways, this song feels like a companion piece to Kentucky Moon. Not the spoken word part, but the actual musically, it feels like a companion piece to Kentucky Moon, which was recorded for the Muswell Hillbillies album, but not released until years after as bonus material. Both songs are kind of grounded on this descending chord structure, and they have similar grooves. They're both very lazy grooves, and the melody that Ray is singing on top of them is deceptively complicated. And it also fits because, Muswell Hillbillies, they were going for that kind of old-fashioned, more country sound. On this album, he's doing that same thing, albeit with, more polished sound. It's still got that classic roots, folky, bluegrass, country kind of feel to it. The song was recorded sometime between 2016 and 2018. Not a ton of information known about it. Like I said, it features the Jayhawks as the backing band, as did the rest of the album. And I think this duo of albums, it really achieves the sound Ray had been chasing for a long time. Like going back to Muswell Hillbillies or to certain particular songs prior to Muswell Hillbillies, where they were going for a more countrified American sound. And maybe working with an American band helped him like tap into it, but it's not just the musicians on it that make it sound, that give it this Americana feel. His songwriting is a little bit more grounded in that style. A lot of times when he's doing this style of song on other things, it still has that hint of vaudeville to it. In the chord progressions, in his delivery, in the way the band's performing around it, it's and don't get me wrong, I love it. Those are some of my favorite Kinks songs, are his old time vaudeville reviews. But on this track, Louisiana Sky, it really feels like he is kind of channeling more of the Americana way of writing a song and constructing a chord progression and writing a melody. He's taken away from the vaudevillian type of song that this song could easily become. And it's kind of a testament to his ability to explore as a songwriter, and that he's digging deeper into new avenues 50 plus years into his career, that he's taking these steps and finding new ways to write music. And I think that's inspiring. It's someone, that's not 50 years into their career yet. I hope that I'm finding new things to say and finding new ways to write, once I'm, have written for so long. There's not much to say about this song beyond that, though. The entire thing clocks in at 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and about half of it is the spoken word, which is over the band instrumentally. But I would like to hear more of the band and maybe another verse. Like, it's such a good song that just feels incomplete. And, before you email me about not enjoying the spoken word, I get it. I know what he's trying to do, and conceptually it works. But I also think it works better as a performance piece than a record. That's just my 2 cents. I don't like hearing a lot of dialogue on a Broadway soundtrack either. Right? So this is stuff that, if he was able to do it live, which obviously now he's not, but if he was able to take Americana on the road as a conceptual show, like with the Storytellers shows that he did, I think the spoken word works better, because then the band is underscoring what he's saying on stage. But on a record, it feels more like the spoken word is just replacing melody, replacing a song. And there's a lot of that on this album. There's a lot of the spoken word. And I think that's the only thing that keeps me from, I don't listen to these 2 albums as much as I listen to like Other People's Lives or Working Man's Cafe. I revisit those albums a lot more often. But there's some beautiful music on this. And Louisiana Sky, the guitar work on this is gorgeous. The Jayhawks are really, really a good band. And they really perform this style of music just expertly, I think, on this. But the guitar work in particular, there's some really cool guitars going on. So that's it. Louisiana Sky. It's on our Spotify playlist if you want to go follow that. We throw up all the songs we talk about on this podcast, end up there, so that you can listen to them and maybe discover something new. What are your thoughts on this one? What are your thoughts on the spoken word? What are your thoughts on this album? Let me know. 925-494-1739. Email me, kinksandbeats@herohabit.com. Join our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/kinksandbeats, or follow our new Twitter account @kinksandbeats. And of course, if you're wondering how many songs we've covered, or you want to link directly to a certain episode, you can swing by herohabit.com, and under the podcast button, we have a directory of every song we've covered, and it's split up by album. So you can see, we've done 3 songs from the Arthur album or whatever. So do that. And that's all I got for this one. Check it out. It's a good tune. All right. I will talk to you guys later. This podcast is presented by the Hero Habit Podcast Network. Swing by herohabit.com today to comment on this episode and poke around our growing database of sports and pop culture news, reviews, and collectibles. herohabit.com. Collect your heroes.